Once upon a time, I started telling my stories. And once I started, they kept coming. I never realized how many stories I had. They seemed random. They were random. They stemmed from many different aspects of my life. As I told them, I wasn't sure if the facts were straight, but I told them from the feeling. I told them from a very deep place, a very connected place, a place that needed to be released. I told them from my anger, from my hurt, from my love, from mystery, from dreams. I told them and they kept coming. Eventually, I had enough stories. My stories were a random set of ramblings, a disjointed mirage, a murky, muddy mess of emotions, feelings, and thoughts. My stories were raw, honest, and at times I could not take the honesty for another second. I had to hide in my distraction, any distraction. There were just some places I did not want to go. I flat out refused to go. After playing, breathing, coming and going, I finally got to some of those places. But honestly, there are places I'm yet to visit, and I may never visit, and that's okay with me. Once upon a time, I started telling my stories, and once I told them, I had to share them. Now, that's a scary thought. I felt that if I shared these most intimate pieces of myself, I'd be rejected, ostracized, abandoned on a roadside. So I decided to find those I trusted. When I asked myself, whom do I trust? I came up with some strange answers. Certainly not the usual or expected suspects. I found those who saw me whole, those who knew my eyes and I knew theirs. At first, there were only a few who fit the description, so I shared my stories with them. They found themes in my stories, threads that I could not see. They asked why. They told me of places where I was not honest. They requested more from me. They taught me that my mistakes make magic. They promised to stand with me as I navigated my uncharted waters. They told me of my blind spots, and then I was blind no more. Layers and layers, shedding of layers. Those I trusted became my inner community. They became my tribe. Once upon a time, I started telling my stories, and once I told them, I had to share them, and once I shared them, I let them go, and I created so much space in my body. Space for new experiences, space for expanding old stories into new adventures, space for love, space for life, space for this moment. Once upon a time, I started telling my stories, and once I told them, I had to share them, and once I shared them, I let them go, and once I let them go, I began writing new stories. Stories not bound by my past threads. Stories of me just being me. Stories of adventures. Stories that I once knew very well, but at some point had given up on, and now those stories were here again. I found myself dreaming all over again, making wishes in wells, expecting miracles, experiencing magic in simple moments, loving life, and simply loving. Once upon a time, I started telling my stories, and once I told them, I had to share them, and once I shared them, I let them go, and once I let them go, I began writing new stories. But here is the amazing thing. I'm no longer writing new stories, I'm now living them. Loving them. What a beautiful notion.